Taking a live look at our interactive Storm Tracker 2 radar, snow is moving into the inland northwest. You can see right now it is mainly further north of Spokane, but that will change throughout the morning. Good morning. Glad to have you here with us on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham. We do have live team coverage spread out across the region, tracking conditions and helping you prepare for the day ahead. You can see there Amanda Rowley keeping an eye on the roads and how the city of Spokane is getting ready for the snow. But we do begin with meteorologist Jeremy Legoo in the Outdoor Weather Center. And Jeremy, really the timing of this storm has changed over the weekend. So when can we expect the bulk of this snow to reach our area in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene this morning?
You know, we saw a couple of flurries early on today, Tim, and those flurries kind of were the sign that, hey, something's going to happen, but it's not really happening just yet. Right now here in Spokane, I'm starting to get a little bit more snow, another round of flurries, but I think this round of flurries is different from the last in the fact that it is kind of the start of the event itself. The snow event is one that has prompted winter weather advisories from down in the Palouse to up and over the mountain passes and across much of western Montana. Now, western Montana, or the downstream locations of us here in Spokane, wind up taking a bulk of the moisture out of this one. So we don't really get all that much. But down in the Palouse, you're looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow and a little wind later today, 2 to 4 up and over the mountain passes in central Idaho Panhandle, or right along Interstate 90, we could say. And what we're winding up seeing is a little bit of that snow moving in. Now, North Spokane starting to get in on it. Deer Park kind of been there. Someone just messaged from Winthrop, said it's been coming down all morning. Same with places like Colville and even over toward Newport. We've been seeing a lot of that. Ponderay, even Sandpoint, seeing a little of that snow this morning, and expect that to continue. The snow will continue through the morning, but I think a bulk of it for us here in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene comes down after you get to work or school today. Then by this afternoon, starts to work its way a little bit farther to the south and eventually works its way out of the region. And all said and done here in Spokane, less than an inch. Coeur d'Alene, 1 to 2. You're off to the north or up and over those mountain passes or down in the Palouse. You're talking inches of it out of this storm system. So here's how it goes. Temperatures below freezing all day long means anything that falls sticks to the ground and sticks around overnight.
The city of Spokane is keeping a close eye on the weather as well as it moves in, saying this isn't expected to be a major weather event, but they do want to be ready. Our team coverage continues now this morning with KREM 2's Amanda Rowley. Amanda, tell us a little bit more about their plans and what you're seeing on the roads right now.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Hey, guess what? Take a look. We found the snow. We're seeing a little bit more of it dusting the road here up in Deer Park area. As you mentioned, that city of Spokane, those crews are already working on making sure the roads are clear. They've been de-icing main arterials ahead of time, focusing on hills and bridges since they can be especially tricky during the winter time. In fact, here in Deer Park this morning, I did see quite a few crews out sanding and de-icing the roads ahead of this snowfall. Now, according to the city of Spokane's snow plan for this year, crews will plow all streets, including residential streets, even if just an inch or two of snow falls. But that's only on the Monday through Friday shifts. Now, if the city gets 4 or more inches of snow, that's when it changes to a 24/7 operation to complete the full city plow. Then it should take crews about 3 days to complete the job. Now, in that case, remember, you got to park on the odd numbered side of the street just to make sure it's easier for plows to work in neighborhoods. The city also warns it may move RVs, boats, or trailers if they're parked on the street for more than 24 hours. And finally, anyone who needs help shoveling, such as senior citizens or those with a disability, they can call 311 to get that assistance. Taking a live last look outside here north of Deer Park. A lot of snow coming down, a lot of flurries. We're seeing folks driving pretty well, keeping a lot of space between vehicles. Is good to keep in mind when you're heading to work this morning, driving slow where there is snow on the ground. Reporting up in Deer Park, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Thank you for, driving around and showing us the different perspectives. In Spokane Valley, not much snow at all, but then further north, we are seeing some of that snow stick to the roads. So our team coverage continues all morning long, and we are tracking those conditions closely. So be sure to download the KREM 2 app to stay in the know. At 8:06, it is time for your morning rush. More news in less time. If you have not already picked out your Christmas tree yet, you'll want to do so sooner rather than later. Many local farms around Green Bluff are closing up early this year due to a shortage of trees. The demand has grown for cutting your own Christmas tree, and recent droughts are also to blame.
The hot, dry summers and lack of moisture. A lot of seedlings that I planted probably the last 3 or 4 years didn't make it.
You can still find a few Christmas trees around the Green Bluff area. Just visit Green Bluff Growers on their website for more information. Scraps is closed for 2 weeks after 2 dogs died from a contagious disease outbreak in their shelter. The bacteria called strep zoo can only be transferred from dog to dog, and that's according to vet experts. Scraps gave every dog at the shelter antibiotics and is in the process of calling guardians of dogs that recently left the shelter.
Dogs can acquire this, and usually it's always in shelter situations like Scraps, which is an excellent shelter. They do a very good job there. This can hit at any time for anyone's shelter.
Well, until Scraps can reopen, it is asking people to help limit animal intake as much as possible. You can find if you find a healthy stray dog, Scraps is asking you to hold on to them for the time being until the owners can be located. Right here on KREM 2, the Seahawks toppled the San Francisco 49ers in a game that came down to the final play. The Hawks' losing streak comes to an end as they beat the 49ers 30-23. The 49ers would drive the field on their final drive on 4th down with just seconds left. Back against the wall for Seattle, Carlos Dunlap was able to get a hand on Jimmy Garoppolo's pass and clinch the win. And the Cougs are headed to the Sun Bowl. Last week on Up with KREM, we shared predictions of where the Cougs could go. And now we know the Cougs will face the ACC's Miami Hurricanes, which is a rematch of the 2015 Sun Bowl, where WSU came out victorious. And we have just learned that Miami fired its head coach, Manny Diaz. The game will be in El Paso, Texas on New Year's Eve at 9 a.m. Pacific time. You can watch that game right here on KREM 2. And that's your morning rush. It's been more than a year since Washington State legalized sports betting, but that didn't mean you could immediately go and place your bets on your favorite teams. But now you can. KREM 2's Ian Smay reporting on one local casino finally opening their doors to its sports book this weekend.
If you're going out to Northern Quest Casino this holiday season, you won't be limited to just the table games or slot machines. Starting this weekend, you can also place wagers on some of your favorite sports teams. The construction is done, and the Turf Club Sportsbook at Northern Quest Casino is finally open for business. So far, people are loving it.
Yeah, so we opened up for a VIP event Friday night and to the public Saturday morning, and so far the response has been great. A lot of people are really enjoying the new space and the new type of entertainment.
For Northern Quest, the sportsbook has been years in the making. Even after the state legalized sports betting in early 2020, the law went into effect right before the start of the pandemic, pausing Northern Quest's plans.
A lot of people were really excited to see this open. We get stopped almost daily. You know, when's it going to open? When's it going to open? We're finally up and running. So a lot of happy folks out there.
Turf Club's doors opened to the public on Saturday morning after a private event on Friday night. So far, the sportsbook has stayed busy. The opening comes in the middle of many major sports seasons in the United States, including the college football and basketball seasons and the regular seasons for the NBA, NFL, and NHL. The sportsbook also offers betting on other sports, such as martial arts, but due to state regulations, betting isn't allowed on games involving colleges or amateur teams based in Washington. If you want to place a bet, those who'll help you at the counter say it won't take long at all.
Yeah, it takes about 30 seconds to place a bet. If you want a lot of money to place on it, it might take a little longer because you have to get supervisor approval. But yeah, pretty quick process.
After you place your bet, you can catch all of the big games on a big screen with a drink and some food. If you can't make it to the sportsbook, there are also now kiosks around the gambling floor and in the casino's sports restaurant, Epic, where you can place bets on the go. The casino is also working on a mobile betting app that, once released, will allow people to place bets on their phones while they are on Northern Quest property. For Northern Quest, Turf Club's opening is an accomplishment.
A lot of planning and a lot of process to get through to get to this point, and it's done. So yeah, there's definitely a relief.
On top of the excitement of bringing sports betting to the Spokane area, Zenishek also said the sportsbook created 20 new jobs at the casino. On top of the excitement of bringing sports betting to the Spokane area, Zenishek also said the sportsbook created 20 new jobs at the casino. In the newsroom, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
but I expect we'll see many more cases in the coming weeks.
The Omicron variant is here in Washington state, and health leaders are preparing to fight back to prevent the spread.
Feels kind of late, but better than nothing. You know, this weather you can't control, and I'm just glad to be riding anything, honestly.
Even though we might be getting snow, the opening day for the Inland Northwest Ski Resort still could be a ways away.
And in anticipation of today's snow, we have winter weather advisories in place across the Inland Northwest. 1 to 3 inches down in the Palouse, 2 to 4 up and over the mountain passes in the central Idaho Panhandle.
Time for your wake-up call. What does the weather look like where you are this morning? Is it frosty, or maybe you're seeing some snow already? You drive the conversation on this show. Text us at the number 509-448-2000. Use the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. We've received some great photos from all the way up north in Diamond Lake, and also some other places in Winthrop and Deer Park, so keep sending them in. But before we go to break, here's a live look outside. We say good morning to you, Inland Northwest. Happy Monday. Grab a cup of coffee and join us for more Up with KREM.